This is CL News Live. We're interviewing the CLPD. First of all, we're going to speak to Commander Austin. Can you just tell us a bit about the CLPD for those who don't know?
The CLPD is the police force. We uphold the law and protect and serve the citizens of Chernos. We have a wide range of divisions. First and foremost, our patrol division. There are general cops that patrol the streets, respond to all the general 911 calls, make your traffic stops, etc. They're paired up with the traffic division, which are made up of our highly skilled drivers who drive the police interceptors for the chases, such as the Porsche and the Lamborghini. We also have the elite tactical unit, which is our guys which are trained highly in weapons and the takedown of suspects, both non-lethal and lethal. And then, they cover the bank robberies, the hostage situations. We also have the counter-narcotic unit, which is the basically what it sounds like. They enforce the plantations and the high drug areas. They do their stakeouts and they ensure the safety of the plantations. Our newer unit, MPG, they're basically one of our main units in the preparation for Armor 3. They're doing the sea patrol. They're enforcing the black market laws, ensuring no one comes out of there with illegal items or weapons. They'll also, do the takedown of suspects who flee to the water and ensure that there's a safe border between the RSI and main island.
Okay, thank you for that. I'd just like to first off say congratulations to Sergeant Fowler on his recent promotion, but to the question, Sergeant Fowler, what is it that you do within the CLPD?
Thanks, Dunko. I'm part of the newly formed MPG unit. Obviously, Austin gave us a good intro. We patrol the seaboard and the coastline, keeping an eye on black market and any other dealings that have anything to do with the maritime on Chernarus, and obviously for the preparation of CL3 on Altus, where we're going to have our work cut out for us, obviously.
Sounds good. Have you had any previous employment within the CLPD? Any of the units that you work for?
Yeah, previously I moved from ETU unit. We specialised, obviously, as Austin said, in the banks and hostage situations. That gave me the good, obviously, the base, the grounding to take up into MPG.
Okay. And how did you find the elite tactical unit?
Yeah, it was amazing. It's a great part. If anyone ever gets a chance, I highly advise it. You get to do all the fun stuff, like first response to banks, taking in shields, etc. if need be, and obviously first contacts with hostage situations. It's good if you like getting your hands dirty and using some cool weapons.
Okay, thank you. Commander Austin, can you explain to us what the recruit phase is?
The recruitment phase is basically the point at which point you get accepted into the PD from when the point your application is accepted up to, but not restricted to, usually the 2-week mark. In this recruitment phase, you'll go through a wide range of training from basically the general SOIs, the law book, and then all the way up through weapon training and driver's training. During the recruitment stage, you must complete 3 successful ride-alongs with a sergeant above, and they will sign off on your training and approve you or stamp you to go solo patrol. And once cleared, so you'll be a recruit, just so we can evaluate your performance as a solo officer, and if we feel that you're doing sufficient work, we will promote you to full officer.
Okay, thank you. And what is the success rate, as in the pass rate, for recruits to officer? Just a rough estimate.
I think with about 75% success rate. basically, the PD obviously isn't for everybody. Some don't like the stress. Some don't like the requirements and the rules that go along with the professionalism of the force that we require. And some people, it just isn't for them. So some people drop out in the recruitment stage, which we understand, and we don't hold that against them. They drop out in the recruitment stage. That's what it's here for. It's to get you a good understanding of the police force, and just to really see if it's right for you.
Okay, thank you. Sergeant Fowl, what would you say your daily routine is within the CLPD?
When I first jump on in the mornings, I obviously check on the paperwork, just to check on what I've just catch up on the overnight stuff, because obviously I live on the other side of the world to a lot of people, so a lot of the busy stuff happens when I'm obviously in bed. When I finally get on the server, basically it's just assisting anybody if they need a hand, but main focus being on gearing up and getting out to check out the either black market or assisting other officers doing what they need doing.
Okay, thank you. Just going to put the interview on hold a second whilst I collect some questions from the public.
No worries.
For those who are watching live, if you could just retype in your questions so I can see them. I didn't have it open at the time. So, Jamie Shields, what was your question? Okay, this question is going to be directed to Commander Austin. This is from Jamie Shields. His question is, how many officers will be recruited for City Life 3? I assume because obviously the size of the map. Have you got any more information on that?
It's really hard to tell at the moment. We know for sure that we're going to have to at least double, if not triple, the size of our current police force in order to cover the vast area of the map. Unfortunately, right now, we don't know where the main cities are, how close together they are, what major points are on the map and their locations. So it's kind of hard for us to know what we will have to cover most of the time. So until we really get that broad preview of how the map is situated and where everything is, it's really hard to say at this point. But we know for a fact that we're going to have to almost triple our PD size that we have now.
What do you want?
Okay, thank you for that. Sergeant Fowl, the MPG, you say that you're maritime, so you're on sea, etc. What sort of vehicles, as in boats, do you use whilst out there?
At this stage, we're just running with the tactical boat that PD's had for a while. Hopefully, I'm not too sure. We'll be looking into extra boats for obviously CL3. We've got about 200 kilometres of shore to protect, and that's about the same size as Libya or somewhere like that. It's going to be pretty.
Thank you. If anybody has any questions on the live stream, just feel free to pop them in. I'll ask them as soon as I can, as soon as I see them. Commander Austin, how long has the CLPD had this as their main headquarters?
As long as I've been here, and I'm pretty sure it's been here For most of city life, since it's been out of open beta, I believe. I can't answer that question for sure, but it's been here as long as I've been here, which is going on 2 years.
Okay, thank you. Sergeant Fal, what is the vehicle that you patrol in as standard for the MPG, as in patrolling Cherno itself?
Currently, MPG don't have their own vehicles. We use patrol-based vehicles, and I always use the trusty Shelby. You can't go wrong. She's fast, and the only problem is she drinks fuel. But apart from that, we can just use patrol vehicles, SUVs, etc. And if need be, undercovers for special ops. But
Okay, thank you. I'm just going to check to see if there's any other public questions.
cool.
Do you believe, Commander Austin, that criminal activity will increase due to the size of Altus?
I do believe that there will be a slight increase in criminal activity, just because the options that I believe Altus can provide and Arma 3 can provide altogether, with just all the options that, I mean, obviously we don't know for sure because we don't know what the devs are implementing. If there's new ways of crime involving the new underwater system that Arma 3 has, we really don't know, but we're sure that with the size of the map, and if we're unable to cover most of the map, or all of the map I should say, with the police source, I'm sure there will be somewhat more crime.
Okay, thank you. There seems to be an officer still outside the window. Is that usual practice around the CLPD?
Photo bombed. We've been photo bombed.
Hello, Sergeant, sir. Sergeant Tuxer's, yeah. Next question.
Yeah. Okay. How would, this is a question to both of you, either of you can answer. How will you be handling the speeding on the road, since obviously there's going to be a lot more places to speed? How will I assume the traffic division be handling that sort of situation?
Yeah, our traffic division will be handling that, and alongside with our patrol division. And we do have a new division that's in the works right now, more of a trial and error. At the moment, it's ASU. It's the air support unit, and they'll be able to play a big role in pursuits and chases, and they'll be the right-hand man to pretty much every division that might need help anywhere on the map, including traffic and patrol in there. Just general patrol operations.
Okay, thank you. Currently, the speed cameras are flashing people when they go by them, but they don't seem to be getting any tickets when they get pulled over by the CLPD. Is there any updates that you know of that could be clarifying? Like, is there anybody fixing the speed cameras and the maintenance?
We're unsure at the moment. We still do get the notification that that a person has went through the speed camera and did not have sufficient funds to pay the fine that's charged automatically to their person. But as of right now, it's mainly up to the officers to see that. If they do see it, to take a screenshot and post the warrant for it.
Okay, thank you. If you just want to ask any other questions on the live stream, feel free to just ask. Sergeant Fal, have you ever thought about going to a different unit, for instance traffic or counter narcotics?
My original, when I first joined the police force, my intention was to make it into ETU, and I was, very grateful when I was introduced to ETU. And when Warden announced that MPG was going to become a part of City Life, I kind I jumped at the chance. It was obviously something else that I was very interested in, and knew that, you know, for the development of CR3 and where things would be going, that MPG would be obviously a very important unit. And as for traffic, apart from obviously the variety of vehicles, I don't think I'd be as well suited to traffic.
Okay, thank you. Commander Austin, how do you perceive the future of the CLPD as it stands now? I understand you say there's going to be an increase in members and recruitment, but how do you see that the CLPD growing as a whole, as in all the units together? How do you just the cohesion? How are you finding everything?
I think the future is going to be a great advancement for the CLPD. With a larger map, it's going to require a lot more teamwork, just between everyone. There's not going to be a lot of, we're obviously going to have to split the map into somewhat sort of zones, and there's obviously going to have somewhat teamwork between those zones, and especially between the different divisions, calling each other into where they need to be. So I think it's going to be a great advancement for the PD, especially with the recruitment and with the larger recruitment. I think it's give a lot more people a chance to see, things on our side as well.
Okay, thank you. Sergeant Fowle, what is your duty within the CLPD as a sergeant?
As a sergeant, it's my role to obviously assist the new recruits with their development and training, but also assisting where needed for other duties with the senior officers and assistance with their supervision.
Okay, thank you. And Commander Austin, same question, but with your rank.
As commander, I oversee the operations and whole, of the CLPD. I really make sure just everything's running smoothly. The recruitment process is running smoothly, and the ranks below have what they need to successfully complete their job. If they need, if the captains or lieutenants need something, they come to us. It's really about the chain of command, basically. We're at the top of the chain of command, so we try to oversee the whole operations and ensure that the work is cut out equally for all of command staff and the supervisors as well. Can't not give them credit. The FTOs, senior officers, and sergeants, they do their fair share of work. But as commanders, we're really just in charge of overseeing the whole operation and making sure everything runs smoothly in the PD.
Okay, thank you. As a commander, with regards to police complaints, what is your role?
Greetings, we are anonymous.
The police complaints can be dealt with by any command staff member, so lieutenant through commander. Any large-scale police complaint where there's sufficient evidence of an officer committing an act that we could see as unlawful or unjust, it's discussed in our private section of the forum so that only command staff can see, and the decision is based on there. So really, the police complaints is a teamwork effort. Obviously, if it's something like a small complaint that it shouldn't have even been posted in the first place. I don't want to say stupid complaint, but a complaint that isn't really saying anything, or they don't have any evidence to back up their story. It can usually be dealt with by any member of command staff without having to bring up a full discussion.
Okay, and what sorts of punishments are people looking at for those, from the minor to the severe?
Well, it all depends on the severity of the complaint. We issue punishments from anywhere from verbal or written warnings to different times of stalking duty, where they're in charge of stalking the shops for a certain amount of times.
Greetings, we are anonymous.
Jail duty, which they must sit at below the jail and take care of the prisoners. We also have jail time, where if an officer does an unlawful act that's shooting an unarmed civilian, he can be charged with murder and put in jail for that amount of time, anywhere up through demotion or termination, depending on the severity.
Okay, thank you. Sergeant Fell, have you ever had said punishments given to you, or any punishments?
Yeah, I have in the past on several occasions had a few, just the couple of stock duties. Obviously, with the new implementation of the CLPD system, it was a bit tricky for me at first, and thankfully, at the time, Sergeant Dunko was very helpful with assisting in handing out stock punishment.
And how does that make you today as a sergeant yourself?
To be honest, mate, I think it probably helped more than anything, and helped me become the officer that I am now. Because if I hadn't, if you had, or if the situation, if I'd just been talked to about it, I may not have learnt my lesson. So obviously, doing an hour stock duty or whatever, obviously it pisses you off, but you're angry at yourself for making mistakes, and you do in the future, you do what you can to not make those mistakes again, and it probably helped more than it hindered.
Okay, thank you. Commander Austin, when it comes to traffic violations, what is I understand there's a certain amount of traffic violations that you can have before you have your license taken off you. If you can just go through, tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, traffic violations can range from anywhere from just dangerous driving, swerving all over the road. Sorry, XMTM is screaming on the radio. Speeding, dangerous driving, red lights, any minor traffic violation adds a point onto your license, and once you reach 4 points of any combination of traffic offenses, your license does get revoked and your car impounded. So you really need to watch out. Most people think running a few red lights here and there isn't generally bad, but it adds up in the long run. It adds to your record, and with an extensive traffic record, you won't count on getting very many warnings.
Okay, and how would they get their vehicles back if it was to be impounded?
They can go about driving themselves, or once they have a license, of course, driving themselves to the repo, or getting a ride from a friend to the repo lot. And once they're there, they can give us a call via 311, and we'll send a unit out as soon as possible to come and release their car from impound. And of course, there is an impound fee associated with all impounded vehicles, depending on what the reason it was impounded for.
Okay, thank you. Sergeant Fell, have you recently impounded any vehicles? And if so, what type of vehicles have you impounded?
None as of late, to be honest, mate. I've been involved in a few arrests, mainly assisting in the role, but personally haven't dealt with many impounds.
Well, can you tell us about, without giving out details, of course, a bit more information on your recent arrests?
It's a tricky one without giving out too much information, mate. But
just describe the scene, what happened, etc.
Yeah. Okay. We've had a few, mainly assisting with the narcotics team. We've had quite a few roll-up drug busts, and it's quite hard to explain without incriminating anything.
Okay, so I assume you've obviously arrived on scene at a plantation and you've seen drugs on the ground and people around there. So what happened after that?
Basically, the counter narcotics on scene. It's their scene. They're in charge, so they they call for assistance and await either air units or ground units for backup and decide when and how to move in. Obviously, surround the plantation, assess the situation. Are they, likely to be dangerous, armed? What type of vehicles they got, and figuring out how to move in to take them down, obviously without loss of life, and with maximum safetiness.
Okay, thank you. Commander Austin, I understand there's a maximum jail time you can have before receiving the electric chair. Can you just go into a bit more detail?
Yeah, the electric chair is given to suspects for receive jail time more than 15 hours. Now, obviously, if you rack up 15 hours worth of destruction of property charges or drugs, you're not going to get the electric chair. But, I mean, if you rack up 15 or more hours with multiple consecutive murders, attempted murders, and really any threat to human life, we will push for the electric chair and execute the suspect for the crimes committed against the people.
Okay, thank you. Just bear with me 2 seconds. Okay. This is a question from CMCG. What tips, it's an open question, what tips would you give to civilians trying to avoid a life of crime?
Hello, CMCG. Basically, stay legal. Stick with the illegal weapons. Stick with the legal weapons. Do not go for the illegal weapons. The legal weapons found at the Little Guns or Big Flocking Guns shop. The legal planting, the olives, just a legal way of making your money. Nobody likes to do olives because it's only 150K, per MacR run, but it adds up in the long run. And my opinion is I much rather be spending time playing the game rather than sitting at a jail cell.
Okay, thank you. And Fal, your perspective? Same question.
Yeah, a lot of it would be around protecting yourself. Obviously, if you have a way to record most of the time, if not all the time. So obviously, if you do get in a situation where it may just seem wrong place, wrong time, you can obviously prove your innocence, and if not, incriminate someone else.
Okay, thank you. We've got a Jim Showers who says that he does drugs 24/7. For somebody who does do drugs 24/7, what would be the odds of them getting caught and charged?
Extremely likely. We try to do plantation checks every half hour to 45 minutes. So we do keep our eyes on the plantations, and just a small load of drugs could land you with well near 10 hours in the maximum penitentiary prison. So it's very likely that you'll get caught.
Okay, thank you. So Sergeant Fal, when you patrol and somebody does a traffic offence, what is the process from there for yourself?
The procedure you take when pulling someone over, is it?
Yes. Anybody who's got
Okay.
questions on the live stream, just
So depending on the crimes, if they've committed, if it's just a simple just a pull over 1037 with siren B, which is the whale, I call it, but the wailing siren, we hit that to alert the driver that we are behind them and requesting him to pull over. Obviously, you'd have your light bar on, and you.
What does the siren B sound like? Sorry.
It's like a wailing noise. I'm not sure on the technical name for it, but
Could you replicate the sound for us, just so?
No, not really, mate. I can.
Oh, okay, that's fine. So, sorry, continue.
um, so once they've obviously once you've siren B'd once, if they do not respond, siren B again. And by that point, they should make a decision whether they're going to pull over or continue to not comply.
And if they fail to comply, can you go through the different stages of a chase and the codes?
Okay, so if they fail to comply and take off, obviously the lead car, if there's more than one, uses the initial main siren and follows the suspect's cause for backup if needed, code green chase, which is... Sorry, hold on.
Commander Austin, if you could just take over onto a code amber chase.
Yeah, the code amber chase is used for chases that have extended over a certain amount of time, or the driver of the vehicle is driving erratically, posing not a deadly threat, but a threat of possible traffic accident, or destroying a lot of personal property. The chase can get upgraded to code amber, at which point we can use spike strips, attempt a pit maneuver, but I mean, you all know how that works in Arma 2. Or we can try to block the suspect from each direction and slowly slow him down, so at which point he's blocked in.
Okay. Sergeant Fowler, you back now?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay, you can
Hi, Dad.
continue to the code.
Hi there.
To the code red pursuit. Sorry.
Okay, so leaning on from what Austin said, if the chase is continued for X amount of time, it all comes down to the behaviour of the driver. If they've attempted to run someone over or shoot someone, obviously if they've pulled over to open fire on a pursuing helicopter, they are then classed as code red lethal. In which case it is by any means take down the suspects, as they are an extensive, obviously a danger to every and anyone on the roads.
Okay, thank you. I'm just having a look at the live stream, guys. Any just want to ask any questions quick? Just having a look at the live stream to see if there's anybody asking any questions. Won't be 2 seconds. Some sensible questions, please, Jim. Alright, okay. I've got one from CMCG. This is another question from CMCG. It'll be asked to both of you singly. We'll start with Commander Austin. What is your most hated vehicle to chase?
I don't really hate chasing any vehicle. I mean, the Evos are a pain just because they're fast and they're strong. They're sporty cars, you know, the fast ones that not all PD cars can generally keep up with. But I'd have to say there's not really a vehicle that I hate chasing.
And what is your favourite car to do pursuits in?
I'm sorry?
What is your favourite vehicle to actually chase in a pursuit, like the vehicle you're in?
Oh, the Porsche for sure. It's fast. It's yeah, it's fast.
It's loud.
Same 2 questions for you, Sergeant Fell.
Yeah, obviously chases, I don't, yeah, same again, I don't hate chasing any particular vehicle. Obviously Evos are fast, and some SUVs can be very fast off-road as well. Can make it pretty tricky to keep up off-road. There's some pretty skilled drivers out there that can make it very hard for you. So I don't particularly hate chasing anybody. Obviously it's the thrill of the chase, but SUVs and Evos can can make it hard.
Okay, and what's your favourite vehicle to be in when in a pursuit?
I've got my Shelby. She's pretty quick. I've used her since rejoining PD, and
Okay.
she's served purpose very well.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions on the live stream? Okay. This is a question from Matty9172, open to both people again. What is the hardest drug run? I assume by drug run he means what's the hardest drug bust that you've attended?
Hi, Maddie. The hardest drug bust I ever attended was probably one we had at Devil's Castle with a well-known gang S7 and many hired accomplices. Believe close to 20 officers were killed at the castle, and almost everyone involved were pretty much executed.
Okay, were you an officer on the scene at the time?
I was.
Okay. Sergeant Fowler, were you at the same location?
I wasn't at the scene. No, I missed that one. I was deeply disappointed. The one that's the biggest, but one that took mind was when I was patrolling with Cypher 6. We were heading through Cherno. He wanted to stop off at his house, which was in the heart of Cherno, and just by chance the drug dealer was literally sitting outside his house. So he proceeded to go into his house and check his loot, check his gear and stuff, and MI-17, I can't remember the suspect's name, but he came down and over-encumbered himself with heroin and was arrested on scene, and we 10-metered 1,350 heroin.
Wow, that is actually a lot of heroin. Thank you. A question that's open to both of you. When I assume obviously you double up at points, for instance in Code Red and not Code Red, sorry, the alert states. Actually, first of all, Commander Austin, can you go over the alert states?
The threat levels?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, yeah, green threat level is, our general patrol. There's not a lot of crime going around on the server, and we're kind of laid back. We're not running around with our weapons out. Code Amber was used for a relatively instant spike in crime. We updated Code Amber. We like to have officers pair up and just watch each other's backs. If there's a lot of crime on the server, we do have Code Red. It's mandatory that officers are, paired up with at least 3 officers per vehicle, and vehicles are riding together. This is in a state where there's multiple murders or gang violence on the server. And then after Code Red, we have critical threat level, which is basically used for when all hell breaks loose. It's only happened, I believe, once or twice on the server, and basically bringing out the big guns, the LAVs, the Bearcats, the Vodniks. Officers are, using armed, bulletproof vehicles, and with that, we have the ability to shut down the towns and ensure that, do what we can to get the crime to stop with whatever means possible.
Okay, thank you. Would it be alright if you give me a walk around the police department and show me about?
Yeah, sure. Well, I guess we can start here. This is the chief officer's room. It's where the commanders come to do our paperwork and speak with other officers. Go this way. That's a stop sign. This
Do you-
is our
Do you regularly have stop signs in the PD?
Greetings. We are
traffic might
anonymous.
have been training. This is our chief officer's secretary desk. It's most usually occupied by either AIMS or gym showers. They'll answer the telephone and forward any calls to the commanders that may need to be answered upon.
Okay.
I'll start upstairs first. This is our CCTV room. Basically, these are all the cameras that are placed across the map that we can view. The most useful ones are the main Cherno cam and the jail cam. We can see inside and outside jail from every angle, including a cam from the below to airfield, where we can see the jail in a whole.
For instructional purposes, can I use the chair?
Yeah, you can go ahead and sit in it. I don't know if civs can
that's what I was
access the
thinking.
menu though. But yeah, you can give it a shot.
Yeah, no menu option.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Up the ladder here. We don't have to climb up. It's just our air traffic control and dispatch tower. Just gives you a 360 view around the entire police department. You get a great view of Cherno. See all the way to Electro, and you get a good view of the helipad side to ensure that our CLPD air traffic is maintaining a safe distance from each other and not crashing into each other.
Okay, thank you. Sergeant Fowle, how long have you been with the CLPD?
I joined the CLPD mid-July, I believe, or beginning of... No, it's longer than that. I'd say it's about 3.5, 4 months ago now that I joined the PD.
This is one of our 2 large instructional classrooms. We also have one smaller for officer briefings downstairs. If we ever have large meetings, this is where we get any kind of civilian to PD meeting. We'll have it in here. And then we have the other room just adjacent to us with a connecting back door that comes right through here. A little bit smaller. My car is
So this is where the recruits come to train.
I don't know. This is the first stage. They can come in here and we can review the law book with them. The instructor has the podium and he has the slides up there on the slideshow screen that he can switch and give bits of tips and pointers to the officers.
Okay. You say you've been in the CLPD for 2 years, Commander Austin. How have you been enjoying it?
I've been in the mod for 2 years, and the
sorry.
time I've had in the CLPD, probably adding up to around almost a year and a half. It's my favorite role. I like the CLPD. I like upholding the law.
Okay. This glass that surrounds us, is this normal glass or is this bulletproof?
That I do not believe is bulletproof.
I see the toilets inside.
Yeah, these are our locker rooms. The men's locker room and, well, Angel Fire's locker room.
Can we have a look inside?
Sure, of course. Like I said, we are all about officer safety, so we do supply a condom dispenser in the men's locker room. We also have our lockers, our bench, and then of course our shower rooms over here.
Is Angel Fire showering right now? Can we go and speak to her?
You can go and check. I'm not sure. There you go.
Thank you. Oh, unfortunately, there's nobody showering right now.
Unfortunate. Right down here is our armory. It's where our loadout is kept. As you can see, we have a full supply of tasers and MP5s and
G8, something.
G8s, I think they are.
Nice.
Along with pepper spray for the officers that preferred that.
What are these boxes containing? I'd assume these are other weapons.
Yeah, these are where all our weapons are stored throughout all these boxes. It's where we can buy all of our rifles, lasers, flashbangs, smoke grenades, riot shields, like you see here on the wall, and of course our well-known big red key. Right out here we have our officer practice and test shooting range, fully functional. We have our pistol range here for short range.
Is there any way yourself or Sergeant Falk could show us a live fire exercise?
Yeah,
Or
sure.
Both of you, actually, if you could both show us a live fire exercise.
One of our main parts in recruit training is to test them on their weapon skills, so they'll usually equip themselves with a less advanced weapon than we have, such as an M14 or a shotgun. Basically, what we instruct them to do is to shoot the targets. We can give instructions like 1 head or 2 head. The 1 is on the left here, and the 2 is on the right, next to or in front of foul there, and that's what they'll aim for. So. Foul, you just want to start from the head, work down to the shoulder, just go all the way down the body.
Yep.
Alright.
Okay, thank you for that.
Go back over the skywalk there and show you the downstairs and reception area of the PD.
Okay. These weapons that you just used then, are they obtainable by civilians legally?
Legally, no.
Where
And,
would they?
neither of the weapons that myself or foul carrier are available on the black market.
So the only way to obtain said weapons is via robbing a police officer, correct?
Yes, but you don't want to rob a police officer with a weapon out. That's just, asking for a bad idea.
And how often are police officers robbed?
We're not robbed very often.
I assume
Greetings, we are anonymous.
Right down here is the, we call the ETU garage. This is also the officer briefing room in here.
Greetings, we are
Carries
anonymous.
6 desks for special
meetings.
meetings planning for special cases. Here's the ETU garage, full bulletproof metal door, and it provides cover from the outside, so we can bring wanted criminals in here and not really have to worry about getting
Greetings, we are
shot. We're pretty
anonymous.
covered from a 360-degree angle, seeing that we have the reception, and that's always guarded if there's ever a highly wanted suspect in here.
Okay. Can I just ask what's going on over there with that gentleman that's been, looks like he's been arrested? Oh, that's going to shut my face, so I'll move back.
Not sure what he's being arrested for, but we can go over and watch the procedure over in the Max Penn prison. Just gotta run and make it quick. Hello, officer.
Ouch.
believe this is Officer Skarnick.
So this is the
Just follow us in.
City Life Maximum Security Prison, yeah?
Yes, it is. Come on in.
Everybody pile in.
Can civilians be jailbroken from this jail?
No, civilians can't jailbreak from here. They can't even open the doors, and we use the double door system for maximum security. As you can see, the jails are made out of steel, the cells, bulletproof with a small, tiny window. With their basic necessities, such as a toilet, a sink, and a bed. You see the officer always has his taser, non-lethal weapon out in case the suspect does try to run, although in this case the suspect is complying by putting his hands on his head. Appears he's getting his rifle license revoked, so he probably committed a crime such as attempted murder, or
Yeah, just ignore the fact that he's jumping up and down.
attempted murder, or some kind of gun crime.
Okay, and this chair over here, what does this do?
This is the electric chair. This is where we conduct our executions. We sponge the suspect down with the water, with the cap on his head, and his ankle goes through this small device there. And the executioner will throw the switch here and throw many, many volts of electricity through his body,
What are you doing here, sir?
killing him.
Jail interview.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, and
Can I have a look inside one of the jail cells, sorry?
yeah, no problem. I'm just getting an unoccupied one.
That's occupied.
Oh, so it is.
Oh, so it is. He looks to be sleeping anyways.
Yeah.
Just take a look in there if you like.
Just got the basic amenities: toilet, water, fresh running water, and 2 mattresses.
See a highly wanted criminal in his natural habitat.
Did he not get sorry, did he not get pillows and quilts, or is it just mattress only?
Mattress only. Pillows and quilts are a suicide hazard.
Makes sense. So if you could just show us the
Status on that code red chase.
sorry, did I just overhear you say something about a code red chase? Could we go and respond to that?
Yeah, we could actually. Let's go.
Oh, I'm gonna have to
Greetings.
to
We
end
are
my
anonymous.
part of the interview here because I've.
Could you close those doors
I've got
behind you then, please?
Yep, done.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Sergeant Fowl, for coming and doing the interview and answering the questions. Also,
you're
again,
welcome, mate, anytime.
congratulations on your promotion to sergeant.
Thank you, and yeah, thanks for your contributions with CLN and helping the public out.
No worries. Right, see you later, mate.
Talk to you later.
This is the inside of a police
Right
car.
now we have a situation with an officer. Sergeant Tuxer has been kidnapped.
Oh, okay.
Throw some fuel in the car here.
For those that you're watching, I'm just going to speak to the guys on the live stream, mate, so I'll just be not talking to you for a sec. For those that are watching on the live stream and haven't seen the inside of a police car before, this is what it looks like. You got the police computer there, which is obviously the police database. You'll also notice on my screen now, it says that I've got in the top right hand corner.
I've captured a wild tuxor and a stolen cop car. Requesting
Outside, please.
assistance. Love you, Dunko.
On the top of the screen you'll see the speed that he's doing in green. The lock fast is what the person in front of him is doing. Only the driver of the vehicle can see the lock fast and the target. So the target is at what the vehicle in front is currently doing at that time, and the lock fast is the fastest speed that vehicle in front has got to throughout the period of being followed. So that the lock fast is what you'll be charged with. So we're currently responding to a code red chase as Sergeant Tuxor has been kidnapped. Okay, so have you got any information on where we are heading to?
Right now, we have information an officer's been kidnapped
Greetings. We are anonymous.
by what we believe is a Shelby GT. Getting limited information right now, just information from the air unit. We have multiple officers on the pursuit, and the suspect's fleeing at a high rate of speed.
Okay. Do you know what the suspect vehicle is?
They believe it's a Shelby GT.
So, see, as you say, it's code red, so that means the officers have permission to shoot out the tyres, is that correct? Yeah? Or is there change when there's a hostage inside?
We try not to use any kind of lethal force if there is a hostage inside, but if the situation does become where they're becoming very hostile, we will attempt to shoot at the lower part of the vehicle, just to disable it so they won't, kill the hostage, and we won't accidentally kill anybody in the process.
Yeah, understandably. So we're just currently travelling around there. Is anybody actually behind the said vehicle? Or is it just a mass? Or is it just everybody looking for
Sounds
them?
like he just hit the spike strips that the officers laid down before the apartment buildings in Cherno.
Okay. So we are now heading to the apartment buildings in Cherno to
Intersection before Market.
find
So
out.
basically what they're requesting is the ETU team is requesting containment around the area. So being on patrol duty right now, that's what we'll do. We'll just give you a ride through the scene, though, to give you a general idea.
Okay.
Our ASU team just called in high altitude surveillance, so they'll advance to an altitude which you can't hear them or see them, and they'll keep their thermal high definition imaging camera sweeping the area. As you can see, the vehicle to our right here, that Shelby GT patrol car, was the one stolen. Had the kidnapped officer in it. It appears that he hit the spike strip somewhere behind us and just missed that pole. You can see fire department's on scene now. But just by the amount of officers here, the kidnapping isn't taken lightly.
I was about to question the amount of officers that are on scene. Is this the entire CLPD force? Or?
We still have the officers on patrol in the main cities and one along the East Coast Road, but this is most of our officers online right now.
Oh, I see. He just got into that vehicle. Oh, no, he hasn't. Oh, has he? No, he didn't.
What the hell?
No, he didn't.
Hey, I just got carjacked. Hey, man, you just got me fucking carjacked.
Oh, I just
Ouch.
noticed that. He just crashed into our vehicle.
Well, it does appear that they...
Can you explain what just happened?
Okay, yeah, they are pursuing the Evo at this point, so...
For under walk around?
I believe they do have some kind of interference with the whole kidnapping situation.
Okay. So this is a alleged association.
Yes, we believe at this time they are associated. That's what the officers are telling me. They also might be harboring a fugitive wanted for this situation inside their vehicle, hence why they're being pursued. And obviously running away from us doesn't make them look very innocent.
Couldn't agree more. I have noticed that he just hit that on film.
Took a BMW.
If you want to do anything illegal, do it now. The whole PD is literally
Bryce,
chasing one
stop
guy.
it.
It's
I
clear.
haven't done anything. Where you at? Where you at? Where
Get
you
offside,
at? Where you at?
scrubs. Get offside.
Shut the fuck up, Yellowstone. Shut the fuck
Jesus
up.
Christ. Right, gents, somebody calling for City Life and you're just fucking it up. Just shut up. Next person to
Trying to
talk,
look
I'll
for
straight up on you.
suspects.
Turn off VOS so they don't fuck up your recording though.
User left your channel.
Kimon, where you at? I don't fucking care. Kimon, where you at?
2 seconds.
What am I channel?
Sorry about that, guys.
They're not giving me any updates with this Black Evo at the second.
Okay. So we're currently just cruising around looking for the Black Evo that's allegedly associated with the original.
Okay, so the Black Evo did pick up the wanted fugitive, wanted in the original code red chase, and whatever this Evo's done in his pursuit, he's made the chase code red.
Okay.
The ASU has picked up on the suspect and advised he's heading towards Green Mountain.
So this is just the general life for the CLPD. Patrolling around, and obviously this is the more, I don't know, from a non-RP point of view, this is probably the more fun side of the mod when you're playing as a cop. Because you obviously get to chase fuel. Apologies for the desync. Tuxo came in before and stated that he was going to restart the server, but obviously now he's been kidnapped, and I was doing this, so he didn't. So we'll be reset soon, and the server isn't normally as bad as this when it comes to desync. But back to the news. Yeah, so I'm currently with Commander Austin. We're looking on the lookout for a Black Evo, which on a side note is the most popular car in city life. Everyone and the dog, the nan, everyone just owns one. So if you're planning on doing crimes,
Our Black Evo just hit a tree.
oh, we've had a update.
Suspects
Black
on
Evo
foot.
Crash, and now the should have seen the rock there. He's now running
Sounds
away.
like Mr. Cumos.
Oh,
Oh my! Wow.
These-
Hello.
do we need to jump out?
Wow. No, we're good. Just got slammed by our officers, though.
As you can see, guys, obviously it was pretty decent. You got an officer there with a hammer. That's because how he rolls, no question about it. Got another officer putting tasers in the air. I think we may be decent.
As you can see, Mr. Cumos was tased.
Yeah, he's tased, now he's cuffed. He,
Now in custody.
for some reason, is half underground. I'm assuming this will sort itself out when he's arrested. So this is Cumo, as you say, yeah? I notice he's halfway under the ground. Is that a issue with the taser?
Yeah, it's a slight bug right now we have on the tasers. For whatever reason, they sink into the ground.
So
I
that's,
do believe this is Cumos, and not 100% sure though.
so that is the gentleman who kidnapped and stole Sergeant Tuxo's vehicle, correct?
He's either one of the kidnapper or one of the main associates in the kidnapping. Not sure what happened here. Oh. Looks like Mike Phoenix nailed a tree.
As you can see, the CLPD. As you can see, the CLPD carry quite a lot of gear. Must be expensive to. Oh, is that 2 officers now? I assume so, since it's 2 low decks.
Yeah, that looks like there's 2 of everything, so that might be 2 officers that were killed in the accident. But yes, the gear is very expensive. It costs almost 20k for a loadout, and of course, depending on what kind of gun you carry. Let's get out here and fix up the car.
What type of weapons are recruits allowed to use?
Recruits can carry the M14 rifle or the M1014 shotgun.
And promotion to officer, is there any other weapons that they get as standard?
They get a wider range of shotguns, but we do have a certification system called ART, which stands for Advanced Rifle Trained, and Patrol Sniper Training, which patrol officers, if they're certified for ART, they'll get a much wider range of weapons they're permitted to carry, such as the fully auto HKs, the MP5s, etc., and then the Patrol Sniper certification, allows patrol officers to use a sniper rifle when they feel it's necessary in the situation of a bank robbery that the elite tactical unit may not be able to respond to.
Okay. So the training for the advanced rifle, is that strenuous?
Yeah, it's administered by a highly trained ETU, FTO or above, and basically to ensure that they know what they're doing when it comes to weapons, and they know when and when not to use full auto, etc.
So before you were a commander, what was your job role?
Before I was commander this time, I was only an officer in the PD. But in my past times in PD, I've been everything from a recruit to a lieutenant, and I've basically done everything possible. I've been in almost every division, and I've led a few of the divisions as well. But at this past recent time, I was an ETU officer, just doing general ETU duties.
Has anybody got any questions on the live stream? Just type them in and I'll ask Commander Austin. Could you do me a favour and send me some water if you've got any on you, please? Dying of it.
Yeah, no problem. I only have 2.
Be better than nothing.
What's your civ slot?
26.
26 you are? Yeah, there you are.
Cheers. So what are the different types of vehicles that you get as a elite tactical unit officer?
The ETU has their customly painted Charger. They have the Bell helicopter they have customly painted for them. They also have... Sorry, EMT behind us. They also have their ETU SUV, and along with an armored SUV and a Bearcat.
There you go.
The armored SUV and a Bearcat are pretty much bulletproof.
I just noticed the speed limit sign as we entered into channel then said 50. Can you tell us a bit more about the speed limits?
Yeah, the speeds in all towns. All towns are 50, and outside of towns are 90. EMT's just desynced into Jim Showers' car, so we're gonna go pick him up.
So how often would you say illegal activity happens when just a normal officer's out on patrol? How often would you say you would be giving out tickets, proceeding in chases, live fire, etc.?
Well, it's hard to tell, because we have our gunshot detection system that advises us if there's live fire in the main towns or main points of the city. But really, without the civs reporting things to us, we can't read minds, and we can't be there for everything.
And how would they report a crime?
Via the 911 system, and you can always PM us on TeamSpeak if you need to.
When you get to certain ranks, you get to get different vehicles, including undercover. Can you tell us a bit more about the requirements for using an undercover vehicle and what they're used for?
Well, any officer above is allowed to use an undercover with permission from at least a sergeant. They have to have a good reason to use an undercover. We don't just go out and patrol with them very often. So if they're doing some kind of stakeout or sting, they can pull out undercover. Plantation checks, we allow CN to use their undercover. But generally the undercover isn't usually used for a patrol vehicle. We try to use our marked vehicles with that, just so there's a police presence. We feel that, we'd rather deter crime than rather sit back and watch it and action it after someone's already dead.
Yeah. Couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't help but notice that vehicle behind us go through that red light.
I wasn't looking in my rear view mirror, unfortunately.
I see there's the old senator's office.
Yep, that is the old senator's office. Apparently the Red Evo believes that it's a suggestion that we stop at red lights.
Seems to be another Red Evo there. Seems to be becoming a very popular car.
Yeah, I am getting some kind of reading up ahead on my speed radar that you see at the top of your screen there. Reading 156 lock fast, so I'm just gonna speed up, see if we can find whoever's speeding. Yeah, 122.
There's a blown up vehicle. Yeah.
Assuming he's down here by Little Guns.
What he's talking about was, as I stated before, the lock fast. It's only the driver that can see
Just
it.
ask or answer Maddie's question there I see on the screen. What is required to be an ETU? ETU, I like to consider our elite force. Weapons trained, mostly negotiation trained. Trained to how to handle suspects in both a lethal and a non-lethal manner to ensure the safety of the general public.
Any other questions on the live stream, guys? Just feel free to ask. So, as a general rule of thumb, what would the question's gone out of my head. I see on our left you have a car park. What is that used for? Apart
Car
from
park
parking
can be
cars.
used to park police vehicles for police officers that are still online. Also, if we hold events such as the CLPD Open Day, civs can park their cars in there because it's safe, it's gated in, and during any major event, it's always patrolled, it's always swept for the bomb dogs and etc.
I noticed to our right there seems to be a helipad.
Yep, we can take a walk over there.
Actually, we just start here. So I assume this is the PD gas station. What is it that police officers get from here, apart from fuel?
Oh, of course, they have the fuel. You can also buy their repair kits, fuel kit, cans, vehicle jacks, etc. Everything that's in a normal civ gas station. Just so we don't have to use up the civ stock, we keep our own. We also have the cop items and cop vehicle shop here, where we can purchase our vehicle and our cop items such as handcuffs and rifle bags.
Okay, thank you. And what is the general cost of a police vehicle? Let's say, for instance, the BMW 135, the recruit car.
BMW 135 costs $35,000. The cheapest car is around $30,000. It's the Caprice. And can range all the way up to $715,000, which is the Lamborghini.
It's just $750,000, yeah.
$755,000, yeah.
What would happen if actually, first of all, can you just talk to us about the destruction of property charge?
Yeah, the destruction of property charge, basically how it works is if a civ blows up a vehicle, they need to pay for it. If they don't pay for it, then they will be jailed for the amount of time equivalent to the vehicle, which has been recently capped off at 10 hours. So, unfortunately, you cannot get 85 hours for blowing up a Lamborghini and not paying for it anymore.
Okay. So this is your personal portaloo? This is-
Yeah. If we don't feel like walking over to the showers and the locker rooms, we can go in here. It's quite difficult to open, but I'll gladly give a demonstration. So, gotta lay off the donuts. They don't fit very well in here.
And this is Commander Austin having a shit.
I'm using the toilet.
For those that don't know, on the live stream, this is where you can use the toilet in game. For the players that haven't actually played CL and are just watching this for the first time, we do have a in-game option where you can urinate, have a piss, and have a shit, which is what's happening right now. And as you can see, he's just a little turd is on the ground.
You can pick it up for a souvenir if you like. Oh, that's basically PD in a nutshell there. Like you said, this is the helipad section where we land the helicopters, and there's a helicopter refueling station over there.
It
We
doesn't
had
sound
chili
too
last
healthy.
night, I'm so sorry. Close that. But yeah, that's basically how PD works. You know, just in a day's work. Obviously, we're more busy sometimes. Sometimes we don't get any calls at all. But that's basically it. Any other questions?
No, that's fine. Thank you very much. This has been Commander Austin from the CLPD. Has been interviewed by Dunko for the City Life News. Thank you very much for your time, Austin.
Yep. Thank you.
Live stream's going down, guys. Oh, hold on a sec. Sorry, one last question.
Sure.
It's just been popped on. This is from Icon. We have a new command staff, but they changed. We have a new command staff. What did they change in this short time, or what are they planning to change?
Basically, there's not a lot of changes that we have. You know, yet we're mainly in the planning process for CL3, being such a short time away. We really need to make sure that we're ready because the crime's not going to wait for us. As for changes, working on the training policy to better train our recruit to ensure that they are top performance, and of course coming out with our new ASU division, and then a division that's in the process of being discussed by the command staff right now, which is top secret.
Understandably. Okay, yeah, that was the final question. I appreciate your time, and I'm sure we'll have a interview in the future, maybe a bit closer to CL3 being released, maybe even so in CL3 itself, and discuss and compare the changes between then and now.
Yep, I'm glad you could take the time to come out today.
Okay, thank you.